Hi. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the switch case statement. All right. Now, switch case is a construct in C that allows you to execute code conditionally depending on whether the case that you are checking for matches the switch data that is being compared against. All right. Now let me give you an example. All right, using the code over here. So let's say now I ask the user to enter a grade. Okay, and then we say enter grade. Alright, so since we are only capturing a single character, okay, we can just use the cin. Okay, and then we're going to say switch grade. So when you say switch grade, basically what we are saying is we are going to now compare the input or the variable grade against a set of predefined values. Okay, so case, okay, let's say A. Alright, that means if the user had entered A, then we can say cout. Okay, excellent. Alright, now the recommended good practice, alright, in switch case statements is after each case, when you have finished all the statements, you put a break. Now what does break do? Break makes sure that you do not execute the rest of the statements in the switch case block. Alright, if you do not put a break, what happens is it will tend to execute the remaining statements that you have. Alright, I will demonstrate that in a while, but let's do it the proper way first. Okay, so case A, okay, case B, cout, okay, you can aim higher, okay, something like this, break, okay, case C, try harder, okay. Alright, and one of the other important things of switch case statements is in the event that you do not satisfy any of the options earlier, that means case A, case B, case C in this case, you can have what is called as a default case. That means when I do not satisfy any of the earlier options, then I execute this default statement. Alright, so I can say cout default. Okay, just to be sure that this is what we are executing here. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing here now is, if you look at the code, we're going to enter a grade and then I'm going to switch the grade. That means I'm going to compare the input against three predefined values. One is either uppercase A, uppercase B, or uppercase C. Okay, and then I'm going to say if I satisfy any of these conditions, either excellent, you could aim higher, or try harder. Now if I do not enter any of these three expected characters, then I will execute the default statement. Okay, so let's run the code. Okay, so let's try one by one. Okay, so A, uppercase A, it says excellent. Okay, now run again. Uppercase B, you can aim higher. Alright, so you can see that I first checked for uppercase A, I did not satisfy, so I went to B and B satisfied, and then I print out you can aim higher. Alright, and as long as I satisfy one of the conditions, I execute the break, which means I do not check for anything else, I do not execute anything else within the switch case statement. Okay, so uppercase C, try harder. Now let's try any other character. Okay, let's say I key in a H. Default statement. Alright, so this is clear, right? This is clear. I will check for these three options, uppercase A, uppercase B, uppercase C, and then execute the statements accordingly. Alright, now what happens if I do not put the break? Now if I do not put the break, what happens is the moment I satisfy one of the conditions, I will actually go ahead to execute the remaining statements in the other cases as well. Alright, so for example, if now I comment off this break, okay, I comment off these 3 break statements. Alright, now what happens if I execute now and I key in uppercase A? Okay, it actually prints out all 3 statements. Alright, so maybe I will just put a \n so it's easier for you to see. Okay, so you can see that it has actually printed out all the statements. The first statement, second statement, third statement, and the last statement. Okay, why? Because I did not put a break. So the moment the first condition is satisfied, it continues to print out the remaining statements, okay, in the switch case. Okay, now if I were to key in, for example, B, then I do not satisfy the first condition, but I satisfy the second condition, so I start printing out from there. You can aim higher, try harder, and default statement. Alright, so that is why, okay, we say that the proper way of using it is to make sure you put a break after each condition has been satisfied. Alright, so I hope that this gives you a good idea on how to use switch case statements. Alright, in the subsequent videos we will talk about other ways of implementing conditional code. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.